Good afternoon, everyone. It is Tuesday, November the 19th, 2019. It is currently 12:52 p.m. Central Time. All right. All I can say is welcome to this live broadcast. If you hear a recording of this, please know that this is a live broadcast. And, well, you'll learn about how you can hear us live when we're actually live, because we're going to be talking a lot about, a church app and a Spreaker app. It will all make sense in a minute. First, let's open the door so that you can kind of come in and see behind the scenes, because there's been a lot of things happening behind the scenes. Let me explain what has been occurring. Well, first of all, there's been a number of broadcasts lately where there have been a lot of, how can we say it, interruptions and distractions that's really made the live broadcast and some things they didn't come across very professional, which really bothers me. Now, I don't want to turn it into where I have to build a little studio. I don't want it to get back to the way when I was doing the News and Focus program, it became an all-consuming thing that really went out of control, and I don't ever want to get back to that in any way, shape, or form. I want the podcasts that I do and the live broadcasts to be fun. I want them to be informative. I want them to be helpful. I want them to be beneficial. Yes, I want them to sound as professional as I can, but I don't want it to turn into this all-consuming thing. It's hard for you. It may be hard for you to understand that unless you knew me and knew all the things that were going on. But yeah, it became a little too much. So I'm trying to be very careful not to turn it back into that. All right. I'm trying to make many of the live broadcasts very organic. Like when I'm having my devotional time, I just hit the live button and just have my devotional time out loud. It's not hours of preparing and getting things ready. Just making it organic, fun. I hit the live button and I share. Now, that idea is great, but the listening audience may not perceive it the same way, because they're like, wait, what is this podcast? This is not very professional sounding. So there's always that danger, but just know that there's a reason behind it. However, lately, there's been some problems with it. And here are the things I'm going to try to work on, trying to improve going forward. The first thing is just a simple problem, and I can fix it easily. I just always forget. I'm currently standing here in my study, and I have a landline here in my study, a phone, right? And I constantly forget to take the phone and remove it from the study before I hit the little go live button. It's a simple fix. I will try. I'm going to put a sign up in my study. Please remove phone before going live. I'm going to put a piece of paper on my wall that states that, to remind me. What I need is when I hit right before I get ready to hit the go live button, for it to say, are you sure you've removed the phone from your study before you hit this button? Okay. So, but I'm going to try to fix that. The second problem, don't know if you can hear it, but if I walk over to my window here in my study and look out, there's all kinds of equipment behind my house, out on the other side of my fence, because they're doing some kind of major construction project that's been going on, it seems like now, for 37 years, which obviously is not even anywhere close to accurate. That's hyperbole, but I'm exaggerating it to make a point. And what is occurring is it's loud, and right now my dog is laying here and he's perfectly calm. But at any moment, one of those trucks, all the equipment out there, is going to make a banging sound. And as soon as it goes bang, my dog goes rah, and he goes crazy. Okay, well, yeah, I probably can never repeat that sound again. Okay, so he'll go crazy, which then interrupts a live broadcast. So there's nothing I can really do. I thought about walking back there and saying, hey guys, hey, can I have your attention? You see what I'm holding in my hand? This is an iPad, and I'm about to go live on the air. So what I need all of you to do back here is turn off the equipment, take a break until I'm done. All right. Now, obviously, that can't work. So there's no real easy way to fix that. Now, I have thought and we may look into this. Our church is located in the middle of nowhere. I mean, literally, I always make the joke, the only people who can find our church are people who are, number one, they're out driving, their GPS gets messed up, and they find themselves to be completely lost. They can find our church. And only because they're so lost, they just take so many wrong turns and they end up in Ovalo, Texas, which I don't even think shows up on maps, okay? If you look at a satellite image from Google Earth and try to find Ovalo, Texas, you'll be like, what is, is that a town? There's no stop sign. There may be a one stop sign. There's definitely no traffic lights. There's basically nothing there, say, other than our church. Okay, post office building right next to our church. If you look on Google Earth, you'll find the post office, and right next to the post office, you'll see this big white building. That's Victory Baptist Church. That's where we are, in the middle of. And if you look around, literally, it's the middle of nowhere. Okay, we are in the middle of nowhere. So for the longest time, obviously, even trying to get an internet connection there was not even in question. Now I believe we can get some internet service there, and I'd have the ability to get in my car, drive to the church, and then go live there, do live broadcasts, do everything, and maybe able to do our sermons live. So we may look into that. It'll be somewhat a little bit expensive, but we may pursue that because I would be away from all of this construction. I'd be away from the phone. I'd be away from the dog, and then I could sit there for 3-4 hours and knock out a lot of different live broadcasts. So that may be something we do. We'll have to look at it. Now, why haven't we done that yet? Good question. That leads us to what I want to talk about. All right, so those are some things I'm going to try to improve. I'm going to remove the phone, and obviously when I have the ability to go live in the evening time, the construction work is not going on, and the dog has a greater tendency to be calm. But I in my house, here's the thing: I can never guarantee. I can never guarantee someone's not going to come to the door during a live broadcast and ring the doorbell, delivery person or something like that, the mailman or anything else delivering a package, and well, then the dog goes crazy, and then that ruins the live broadcast. So those are some things I'm going to work on. I do want to make the broadcast as professional as possible, but without going overboard, because I don't want it to come across that way, if that makes sense. I can avoid some of that. So we're going to try to see if we can, as a church, afford to get the internet service hooked up there and make it work. It may take a little while to be able to get the service there. They may have to run some wires and some things, according to someone in the church who called and tried to get some information. So we may proceed on that. If we do, it will probably be somewhere in December when we make that happen, and then we could start 2020 and have a really good plan in place. So just please be praying about that, and hopefully financially it won't be a problem. But here is the thing. One of the things I'm holding out on is I don't want to spend more money, because currently we are in a mess trying to figure out what to do with our church app. So I'm going to take you through this long, crazy journey. All right. Custom Church Apps, I believe that's the name of the company, is the company that we went through to establish our standalone church app, which is the VBC 66 church app. VBC 66. It is currently available in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. All right, it's great. All of a sudden, we get a notification. Notification tells us, or I get an email. When I say notification, I get notified via email that, hey, Custom Church Apps is now merging with Subsplash. Subsplash is one of the leading providers of church apps for some of the largest churches. This is going to be a great thing for you because you're going to have more features. Your app's going to greatly improve, and we'll keep you informed of what's going to happen. Then I get another email later on saying, "Hey, guess what? If you don't change, if you don't you sign up now with the new company that since we're merging and transfer your current app over, well, your app will ultimately go away." All right, well, then we need to go ahead and make that happen. So I contact them, ask some questions. Okay, It's going to be $130 a month versus $60 a month that we're currently paying. Oh, wow. That jumps up because $130 a month for the app. Then we have to pay for podcasting hosting sites like on Spreaker. We use them. That's running us close to $80 a month for all the features that we want there. We want unlimited space. We also use SoundCloud. That's costing us a little bit of money. Oh, man, that's getting up there. That's a lot of money. And we don't, we're not ones or we don't ask for money. The church wants to support us the way I believe it should work. So I'm like, wow, this is kind of a tough situation. What do we do? And so I'm like, okay, let's do it, right? I mean, it seems like it's going to be a better deal. Let's start. October the 23rd, we said, let's make this happen. And the way it was presented to me is we're just transferring your app from one platform to another platform. Should be easy. Shouldn't be a problem. There was these web seminar things you had to sign up for all this training about how to make it work. And I started looking at it and I was like, well, wait a minute, this sounds like I'm starting over. And they were like, no, you're transferring your app. Don't worry about it. I'm like, well, I need to know exactly how this is going to work. So then they're like, well, here you go. We've got you, your app has kind of been built. Here's what it's going to look like. And I went and, downloaded it to my iPad, looked at it. I'm like, well, this is great. In fact, I want to be accurate in my reporting. Let me go to the app right now. All right, here it is. Victory Baptist. Yes, and if I go to all the sections that we now have in this supposed new app, all content is gone. Period. All gone. All they have is the space where all of our content used to be. For example, let me go back to it. If you know our church app, then you're familiar with this. Sermons and Bible studies. All right, if I go to the new app, there's 2 messages. Just 2. All right. If I go to our actual church app, not the new one, but the one that people still have, and I go to sermons and Bible studies, I have messages going from November 17th all the way, and I don't even know how far back this will go. I mean, it's going to go back forever. There are hundreds of messages. And every section is the same way. Hundreds of messages, all gone. So I was like, well, wait a minute, where's all of our content? I thought we were just simply transferring the app over. What is going on? And they would try to give me a reply, and I'm like, wait, no, you're misunderstanding. This would be the Subsplash people. I'm like, you're misunderstanding. I'm not starting with a new app. I'm transferring from the company that you're merging with. And it's like they didn't even understand that we were merging. Then they were like, okay, never mind. You're right. We're going to get with the other people. You don't, and this is almost a direct quote. You don't need to worry about anything else. It's all going to be taken care of. All right. Now, please note, we started this on October 23rd. We're in November 19th. After being told, don't worry, got nothing to worry, it's all going to be taken care of. Here we are November 19th. Guess what? I still don't have. I still have an app that doesn't have any content, and I still don't know what's going on. I don't even know what the next step is. So I contact the custom church apps people. I'm like, hey, what's going on? What's going on? And then I was told on November the 5th, hey, tomorrow it's all going to be done. We're transferring all of your content over. It's all good. You don't need to worry about it. Okay. All right. So November the 5th, that it would all be taken care of on November the 6th. We're in November the 19th. I still don't know what's going on. To make matters worse, I have sent multiple emails kind of saying, look, I tried to create a new section on the app, pulling from RSS feeds. It's showing me all the content, like it's giving me the name of the messages, but it's not providing any, like you can't listen to the sermon. You can just see the name of it. Why is this not working? I've sent 4 emails. I still can't get an answer. All right, I keep asking about the content. Now remember, November 5th, I was told, hey, the next day it's all going to be taken care of. So yesterday I received an email from Custom Church Apps that basically tells me, let me see if I go here. They tell me, if I can find it, they basically tell me, hey, still haven't received any reply from them today. If I'd have to go down here and try to find the email, basically, let me see if I have it. In regards to moving all of your content over, we've built out the layout, but we won't migrate all the remaining content. So now they're telling me they're not. Now remember, November 5th, the same person emailed me and told me we're going to take care of it. It's going to be done by tomorrow. And then now, November 18th, you're going to move it all over. Well, if I have to move that all over, you're talking insane amount of time. Right? I mean, like it would take forever. I'd have to go back, try to find the message. Like on some of them, it'd be easy. I can just pull the RSS feed. That's no problem. All right. Now, that wouldn't be a problem if they would tell me why the RSS feeds are not working properly, but they haven't told me that. So what I could do is I could create the sections, just pull from the RSS feeds that we have. That would bring over the content. A lot of content would be lost, but it's not that big a deal because some of the other additional content was kind of being served as a blog. I was just pulling up, here's a sermon everyone should listen to, and then basically using the RSS feed for that sermon for people to listen to. If that was lost, it wouldn't hurt anything. Now, the Romans section that I was asked to be built by one of our listeners, I would have to rebuild that from scratch. And that would take a very long time, all right? So I could possibly pull that off. But the bottom line is I still don't really know what to do because they told me that I need to get with the Subsplash people. Well, I've already gotten with the Subsplash people and they haven't told me what the next step is. No one's told me what the next step is. Now here's the kicker. Are you ready? We've already been charged $130. So we've paid $130. We're now getting close to a month since this process has started. We still don't have. Now, this is what they constantly tell me. Well, your old app is still working. Yeah, my old app, I was being charged $59 a month. Now I'm being charged $130 a month. I'm being charged $130 a month for the old app. Okay. So don't tell me, hey, it's all good because the old app still works. No, I'm paying for the new app. The new app should be working since I've paid $130. And no one's walking me through the process. No one's helping me. It's been an absolute disaster. It really has. It's been extremely frustrating. And yes, a Subsplash and Custom Church Apps are the two companies. And I'm going, and everyone should know this because here's the thing. If you're a massively large church, right? You may have a tech person. You may have people they're going to be sitting in an office working on this. We are a small church in the middle of nowhere. So obviously we don't rate is very important. We're not a mega church. We're not well known. So, we're not going to fall on any level of importance. Of course not. Of course we're not. No. But what makes it frustrating is A, we're a small church. We have a limited budget. B, I'm the pastor. And I'm the tech person. So I'm trying to do all of this. So you would think it's their job to try to be helpful and supportive of the customer, to make the transition from one platform to another as easy as possible, and to answer questions that are asked via email, and to help me with the process. I sent an email yesterday saying, wait a minute, why did you tell me all the content was going to be transferred over, and now you're telling me it's not? I still haven't received a reply. In fact, let's be fair here. Let's be fair. Still no reply. And we're after 1 o'clock. Well, by 4:30, 5 o'clock, I'm not going to get a response. So maybe I'll get one by the end of the day. I'm not counting I'm even going to get one. So I think what I'm going to do is send an email and cancel the app. I do not want to do this. You please understand. The work it took to get the Custom Church app, to get the app started in the first place was very frustrating, right? I mean, it took a lot. It was difficult, especially working with Apple. It was not easy, all right? And I don't ever want to have to go through that again. I'd just be honest with you. I don't want to have to go through all of that again. I didn't even know what I was doing. I mean, it was difficult. That's not my area of expertise. You want to talk philosophy? You want to talk theology? You want to talk church history? Yeah. You want to talk current events? You want to talk about how to interpret current events from a biblical perspective? Okay. I don't have the ability to pull all of this off. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to cancel. And that saves us $130 a month. Now, you save $130 a month. We're going to be paying for Spreaker at some level. All right. Now we're paying at a little higher level. We currently are because now we have unlimited storage, and which is best for us. So instead of paying what we were paying for Spreaker and paying for that, we're literally coming out with $130 a month savings. I don't want to lose the standalone app, but I maybe it's because of in my military career, we could talk about my military career. I worked in the medical world, and I was basically, my strength in working in the medical world was patient care, customer service, taking care of the patient, taking care of being an advocate for the patient. I even worked as the patient advocate for a large hospital, because you try to ensure that they're receiving the care and the service that they should, and taking their concerns to heart and fixing those problems. So I am a big proponent of customer service, right? And a company that's already taken my money, but yet provide me what I am paying for, is not good customer service. And the fact that the emails responses are always just vague. They don't really get to the heart, like, okay, we know there's some confusion. Here's what we need to do. Here's step 1. Here's step 2. Here's step 3. Here's the emails of the people. I can help you with step 1 to step 2. Here's who will help you from step 2 to step 3. There's no outline of the process. So we're going to have to end. I think I'm going to send an email shortly and say, please cancel our order. We're going to move on. So now this is what I need everyone to do. All right. Please, 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 please take a few minutes. Now I'm going to go over to another iPad. I have opened up the Apple App Store. You need to go to your App Store and you need to type in the following: Spreaker, Spreaker. Once you open up Spreaker, you should see something that says Spreaker Podcast Radio. Spreaker Podcast Radio. It has kind of a dark grayish background with a yellow star in the middle that says podcast. Spreaker Podcast Radio. Download that app. Once you download the app, I'm going to tap on open. It's going to open up. Down at the bottom, you'll see channels, explore, favorites, playlist, and search. Tap on search, and then type out the word or the letters VBC. VBC, hit search. You will find VBC, and then you'll see it's kind of a light gray background with like a green cross, and it says Victory Baptist Church. Tap on that. There's a little star. There's a little star there. In fact, I just pulled this up and it says App Update Live. Gray background with like a green cross, and it says Victory Baptist. There we are. We're live on the air. Okay. See, you can listen to us live through the Spreaker app. And there's a little star right there. Tap on that star. That makes us a favorite. And then it'll say VBC by Victory Baptist Church. Tap on Victory Baptist Church, and it brings up all of our shows. Go to each show, tap on the little star. It'll make us a favorite. There should also be a feature on your device that says follow. It'll be yellow. Hit follow. It'll make you put your email and your name, and then that will send us a notification letting us know that you are following us. Why is that important? Because we want to ensure that every person using the VBC66 app transfers over to the Spreaker app. I don't want to lose anyone. All right? We work hard to try to get this information out there and gain, obviously, listeners. I don't even want to be doing a podcast about this. This to me is a waste of absolute time and energy, but I want people to know exactly what is going on and that I've reached I've tried everything, but we're almost a month into a process of simply transferring one app to another over to another platform, and I can't get a straight answer. And part of me would be like, okay, well, let's just move forward. But nobody's even telling me how to move forward. The people taking our money hasn't contacted us going, hey, you're being charged $130. You still don't have an app ready. What can we do to get this going? Nobody's talking to me. So this whole thing is, to me, it's an embarrassment on the two companies. All right. And it's frustrating. And I don't want to be in this situation. Now, yesterday they told me that they would try to credit me, but they didn't tell me how they were going to credit me, when they were going to credit me, how is this going to work? When you say credit me, do I get my money back? In fact, I know what's going to happen. We're going to cancel. We're going to lose $130. We literally paid them $130 and we never got the app. I mean, that to me is pretty messed up. And if they contacted me and said, okay, we're going to give you the $130 back, and we're not going to charge you the $130 until you get an actual app, and we're going to do everything in our power to make that happen soon, maybe I would reconsider. But at this point, I think we're just going to move to the Spreaker app. I hate that because we have all kinds of broadcast episodes all over the internet telling everyone to look for the VBC 66 app. But nothing I can do about that now. So it's all we can do. So that's the situation. So please, Android users, go to the Google Play Store. Apple users, please go to the Apple App Store. Do a search for Spreaker, Spreaker. Download the app. Please follow us. Please. Because I got to see those numbers. All right. Right now, we have a total of 11 followers. All right. I won't say last names. We have a Brenda, a Carl, Practical Bible Studies is following us, Seth, Twyla, Stacy, Diane, Sarah, and Larry. All right. And then someone, it's kind of, I guess, a nickname, Joshua. And those are the people who are following us. Now, that doesn't mean that's all the people listening to us. My listening numbers are far more than 11 people, thank goodness. But the only problem with that is I don't know, I can't measure. Like, I can see the numbers and go, okay, those are pretty good, but I can't really measure if we're capturing the people who were using the VBC 66 app. That's what we want to know. And a lot of people downloaded the app. So we need to ensure that it switches over, if that makes sense. So please do that. If you have any questions, email me at newsif@yahoo.com. I apologize, I'm losing my voice. newsif@yahoo.com. newsif@yahoo.com. Maybe losing my voice will give me more bass. newsif@yahoo.com. Let us know. And again, I apologize that this is all confusing. I apologize for some of the recent live broadcasts not going so well, and there's been interruptions and the dog barking. I want to delete them. But some of them I spent 40, 50 minutes, broadcasting. You don't want to just lose all of that. I could go in and try to re-edit the video or re-edit the audio, but at this point, they're already there and they've already been listened to, so we'll just leave them and just let the good, the bad, and the ugly stand. That's what we're going to do. So there you have it. That is the app update. I know it's a long, boring story, but man, it's a bad thing. Here's what I would say to anyone who owns a business, right? And to anyone who works in a business. And this is my own personal philosophy. I think there's a Christian philosophy in this as well. I mean, Christian philosophy, we should do our job to glorify God. We should have a work ethic that seeks to glorify God, and we glorify God by having the most integrity and doing our very best at our job. I did not always live up to that standard when I worked in the military, when I worked in another place. I fell short of that. All right. I'm very aware of my failures. in the way I've worked. And sometimes, in other cases, I think I did. I don't want to make it. At times I was happy with my performance at work, and I think I did very good. And there's other cases I did not. And you always regret that. Every day you go to work, you're a human being, you got lots of things going on, and sometimes you don't work the way in which you should in order to glorify God. We all fall short of that. Everyone does. Everyone has bad days. But we should have a mindset that says, hey, I'm going to work. I'm going to do work in a way to glorify God. And I think one of those ways in any business where you have customers is understand the reason your business exists is because you have customers. So you should not act like the customer is a bother, that the customer is a nuisance. You should act like you are grateful for that customer, you are happy for that customer, you are appreciative of that customer, and you will do everything you can to provide the best quality service for that customer. And you can't always give the customer everything they want because sometimes customers have unreasonable demands. All right. I dealt with some very unreasonable customers sometimes in the medical world, and sometimes there's nothing you can do. But you can do your best to still treat them with respect and dignity and do what you can for them, and then tell them you can't do this, but in the best way possible. As Christians, we need to have a biblical perspective on work. And we do that work to glorify God. So the lesson that we can learn from this episode is, hey, I don't know what you do for a living, but approach your job to glorify God. And part of that, especially if you're in a job where there are customers, take care of those customers. Treat them with respect. I do not feel, this could be my own wrong perception here, but I feel that if we were a mega church, this entire situation would have been handled far differently. We're a little nobody in the middle of nowhere. And I don't think they care if they lose us as a customer or not. Or put it this way, they may care. Their actions clearly demonstrate they don't. That's a fact. The actions do, because we're a month into a process. They've already taken my money. Still don't have the app that I'm supposedly paying for. I have the old app that was much cheaper. And supposedly that's all that really matters. They're like, in every email, they'd be like, just remember your old app is still working. Yeah. Can you tell me when I'm going to have a new app? Can you tell me what steps I'm supposed to take? Can you tell me who I'm supposed to talk to? Can you answer any of my questions? Can you tell me what's going on? You gave me an answer that all my content was being moved over, and then just out of the blue, you just send me a new email saying it won't be moved over, and you don't give me any explanation into why it changed? Whole situation is crazy. So that's what we're going to do. Spreaker is now plan A. Please get the Spreaker app. Please. That's what I ask of you to do. And most importantly, follow us. Because you don't need to contact me. It's just going to send me a notification. When I go under my Spreaker app, it'll tell me how many people are following us. And then I'm like, okay, good. Look at that number. Look at that. I'd like that number to be way up there. Now, I know those who follow us, that number will never match the number of people listening to us. I can't have that expectation. It never works that way. But we want to make it as close as possible, only for the ability to know that I'm making the right decision here. In fact, I don't even really know if I have another decision. I mean, how many months do you pay $130 for something you don't have? Right? I mean, that would be unwise to use church money for that, I think. All right. So if you have any thoughts, email me at newsif@yahoo.com, newsif@yahoo.com. Now, Spreaker does allow us to create an Android standalone app and an app for Apple devices, and that would only cost us $100 a year, not $130 a month. Now, the only problem, Android app, easy. The Apple app to create is going to require some work. You have to have a Mac computer, and I don't have one. I do know some people who have one. If they're willing to work with me, I may have them help me, and we'll create an app. Now, the problem with the Apple Spreaker app, it's a standalone Spreaker app for Spreaker, but it'll be our app. The problem is it doesn't allow downloads. That's very disappointing. But the Spreaker app, we may not even need the standalone apps through Spreaker, because the Spreaker app itself does allow downloads. In fact, let me make sure of that. Because this became a problem before. I'm going to go under us. All right, there's Taylor Swift and outrage culture. Download. Okay. Now let me see where they show up. Okay, yeah, it's download. So now if I do not have Wi-Fi, I can play it. So yes, so I think really just the Spreaker app itself, we don't even need the standalone app, because it's easy to do downloads on the Spreaker app, even for an Apple device. So I think the only thing it takes away is people can't find us in the App Store simply by just saying, hey, go get our VBC 66 app. I have to say, get the Spreaker app and then look for VBC. That's frustrating, but I don't know what else to do. Now, if there's some brilliant tech person out there who's great at tech, and you got a lot of time on your hands, and you want to be super nice, and you want to build us 2 standalone apps, okay, for free, please please go for it. Please go for it. But yeah, so that's the current situation. I don't know if we'll ever have another standalone app, because to be honest, I don't want to have to go through that whole process again. It was crazy. It was so frustrating. So the Spreaker app is simple. It's easy, simple. All right. So we'll keep that in mind, and maybe we can create I don't know. Maybe there's some other ways to accomplish some things that I want to accomplish. We will see. But that's the current state of things today. I've had to waste 37 minutes of my life explaining this. Trust me, I didn't want to do this. But I felt that I've got to let people know what's going on, and I don't want to just say, hey, get the Spreaker app, we're canceling our church app, because then I get all the emails going, why is that happening? So I had to explain it all here. And so let me do this just to be fair, because I don't want to end this broadcast and give wrong information. Okay, as of 1:29 p.m. Tuesday, November the 19th, I have received no reply from the Custom Church app individual who's supposed to be taking care of everything. And according to the Subsplash people, I had nothing else to worry about. It was all going to be taken care of. That was their exact words. Tuesday, November the 19th, 1:30 p.m., it hasn't been taken care of. I have no idea what is going on. I don't even know what the next step really is. I don't understand why the RSS feeds are not working on the new app. I still don't know why our content is not being transferred over after I was told not only it was going to be transferred, that it was going to be finished by November the 6th. No answers, nothing. Therefore, I'm going to send an email as soon as this is over for them to cancel our standalone app, and Spreaker will become our platform. That concludes this live broadcast. Thank you. Please pray for me, because here's the thing. If as a Christian we should do our work to glorify God, and that involves good customer service, please pray that I glorify God in handling an unfortunate business situation in a glorifying way. Because I don't want to not glorify God in how I don't want to have to deal with them in a mean way. I've been kind of blunt, but I'm trying not to be disrespectful. I'm trying to be respectful. I'm trying to be godly there. I mean, I'm a human being too, all right? I mean, there's no use sometimes as Christians we come across sometimes as sanctimonious, like, I thank you, Lord, that I'm not like all these others. We're human beings, and we sometimes say things we shouldn't. And so far, I believe I haven't said anything I shouldn't. And I'm going to try to be very careful and respectful. But this situation, I think is now becoming a little bit ridiculous. If you believe it's not, now you may be, if you are a tech person and you work in the app world and the developing of apps and transferring apps over from one platform to another, you may be sitting there going, no, this is normal. This is no big deal. Nothing's going on. This is what's got to happen. You can email me really quick at newsif@yahoo.com. I mean, like really quick at newsif@yahoo.com. And you can say, whoa, slow down before you cancel. Here's what's going on. Maybe you have insight that I am unaware of as being a ignorant person when it comes to certain tech issues. All right. Okay. There we go. We'll try to do something far more entertaining and far more informative and far more spiritually beneficial in our next live broadcast. I did try to bring some spiritual lessons into this. I always try not to waste your time. But all right, get the Spreaker app. I expect those numbers to jump from 11 to 3,011 in the next 30 seconds. Yeah, I'm also foolish. All right, everyone have a great day. May God bless you. Thank you.